you'd asked me when I was 10 years old, if you had 3 wishes, what would they be? I probably would have answered something along the lines of 1, to be Eponine, because a couple years before I just played Little Eponine and I was desperate to go back into the West End when I was older to play Big Eponine. 2, to have written a book and to have it published so it sat on the shelves of a bookshop for other people to read and enjoy. And 3, as cliched as it sounds, to be a Disney princess. Those 3 wishes remain pretty much the same today as they did when I was 10 years old. Growth, Carrie. With the exception, of course, that I can tick off wish number 1 as I am currently playing Eponine in the West End's production of Les Miserables. And next spring, I'll also be able to tick off wish number 2. At the beginning of this year, I was taken on as a client by the Marsh Agency. One of their agents, the lovely Hannah Ferguson, who is also the agent of Fletcher, read my blog and liked some of the ideas that I sent her and decided to take me on. I'd had the idea for a while that I was going to expand on my blog, alliknownow.com, that I've been posting online for like the last year, and I was going to turn it into a book for teenagers. We put together a little proposal which included a biography of me and what I've been doing over the last few years, and an outline of what the book is going to be, and then just a few chapters that I'd written. We put that up for submission, which means publishers get to look at it and then decide if they like it or not, but if they do like it enough to potentially buy the book, then they'll ask to meet with the author. So after a couple weeks of the book being out there and in the hands of publishers, 2 publishers, so lucky, 2 publishers decided that they liked the book enough to ask to meet with me. One of them was a publisher's called Little Brown. It was a wonderful meeting I had with them. It was in their library, so I was just surrounded by books and they offered me tea and cake. So instantly I was like, I like this place. These people are nice to me. And funnily enough, it was where I had a meeting wedged between 2 Hannahs, the publisher Hannah and my agent Hannah. So a couple weeks after that really lovely meeting I had with them, and they'd taken a couple weeks to think about it, I was on holiday in Florida and I got an email from Hannah F saying that Hannah B had made an offer for my book. So now I'm working with Hannah F at Marsh and Hannah B at Little Brown, and All I Know Now by Carrie Fletcher is scheduled to be in bookshops by 2015. I'm so excited and just so grateful, and I feel so lucky to have been given these opportunities. And I mean, it's not like just, you know, falling into my lap out of thin air. You know, I've worked hard to write this book. You know, there's like 55,000 words that have been written and I've got like another 15 to go before I hit my mark. And I'm also doing the illustrations for the book, so I've got a bunch of them to start working on. So you know, it's a lot of hard work that still needs to be done and has already been done. Very lucky and very grateful that this is happening, and I hope you enjoy it when you finally get to read it next year. I can't believe you guys are going to be reading a book that's been written by me. Like, it's not even like you're just going to be reading a blog or anything. You're going to be reading a physical, handheld, page-turny book. For those of you that want to know a little bit about the book, it's about being a teenager and making your way through the teenage. I made a lot of stupid mistakes when I was a teenager and I did a lot of things wrong, and I talk about a lot of those in the book and how to not make the same mistakes I did, basically, how to avoid being an absolute twat. So wish 2 can now be ticked off the list if everything goes according to plan within the next year. So now I just need to work on becoming a Disney princess. And I have heard that Frozen is going to Broadway at some point in the near future, so you know, maybe I can elbow my way into playing Elsa. Because I'm going to do the what's in my bag tag, because what's actually in my bag is kind of interesting, I think. Let's see. So this is the bag that I'm currently using, which I got from Paper Chase in my first few weeks of rehearsals last year for Les Mis, because I needed a bag that was big enough to fit my big Les Mis score in it, which is like that thick and big and chunky, and it didn't fit in any of the bags I currently had.